Hi, everybody. This has been an interesting week looking at some content that is honestly very depressing. We're looking at mood disorders and depression and also at suicide, and I wanted to touch base a little bit more on the idea of suicide. Um, there's often misconceptions surrounding suicide with the belief that the individual was maybe weak minded or doing it for very selfish reasons. And the reality is, for most of these people who attempt and commit suicide, we see that many of them are doing it for very unselfish reasons. They believe that people around them would be better off without them, and that committing suicide is the best action for their family, their friends, etc. Now, for us on the outside, this seems completely irrational, and the reality is it is irrational. But the person who's depressed is not thinking rationally. They have these very negative thoughts, this very negative affect. Everything is very pessimistic, and it's very difficult for them to break that ruminating way of just kind of constantly obsessing over these negative thoughts. So, because of that, suicide takes on a very different perspective to the person who's depressed, which is one reason why it's so important to treat these individuals with depression to help them out, both through therapy and medication when necessary. And if someone is potentially suicidal, that you know, to get them help immediately. I can't emphasize that enough. Get them help immediately. You are not doing them any good by holding a secret for them. You'll be doing much more for them by actually helping them get the help that they need. If you have any questions on these topics, there are a lot of great resources out there. There are the suicide hotlines, and if you're just interested in researching the topic more, there's an interesting book by Kay Redfield Jamison called Night Falls Fast, where she looks at the content from both a statistical standpoint, but also from a case study, individual standpoint. She herself suffers from bipolar disorder and has attempted suicide in the past, as well as being a clinical psychiatrist. So she provides an interesting perspective.